Today we will be solving inequalities with variables on both sides containing parentheses. So we're going to go ahead and distribute this 6 over that subtraction. It leaves us with 3x is greater than 6 minus 6x. So from this point we can go ahead and add that 6x to both sides. So when I do that, I'm left with a 9x is greater than 6. Well, I've got one more step. I've got to divide by the 9. And I'm left with a fraction. I can reduce that fraction. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take out a common factor of 3 from both of those terms. And I'm left with x is greater than 2/3. So when I go ahead and graph that, I'll put the 2/3 in the center. And I'll stick the 0 off to the left. And it's an open circle. And all the values of x are greater. That means to the right. So on this next one, we've got a bunch of decimals. Let's go ahead and eliminate those decimals by multiplying by a number that will move it over to become whole numbers. Now looking at each of these, each of them needs to move over one space except the 6. So we're going to multiply just by 10 in this case. But you got to multiply every number by 10, even that 6. And so now I've got 5x minus 3 plus 19x is less than the 3x plus 6. So from this point, I'll collect some like terms. Got the 19x and the 5x, which will give me 24x minus 3 is less than 3x plus 6. And then I can go ahead and start moving some terms around. So I'll go ahead and maybe add that 3 to all sides, subtract the 3x from all sides, and that leaves me with 21x's is less than 7. So a common mistake is people want to say the answer is 3, but that's not the case because we're dividing by 21, not 7. So we have another fraction. X is less than 1/3. So we'll put the 1/3 in the center, and 0 is still off to the right, or off to the left. Open the circle once more because the values of x are less, not equal to, but less. So less means to the left. And this next one looks like a 4 here. Actually, we'll call that -4, I guess. So -4 we'll have to distribute over this subtraction. So we end up with a -12 plus 4x is greater than, and then we distribute this one as well. So 5x plus 5. From this point, we will go ahead and start moving some terms. So I'm going to go ahead and subtract that 5x from both sides. It goes right underneath this term here. And erase that little 5 where I put it underneath the 12. And then we'll also go ahead and move the 12 over as well. So I'll add the 12 to both sides. And here's what we have now. We've got just -x is greater than 17. So we're not done yet. Still need to get rid of this negative sign. So you can multiply or divide by a -1, and that will move that will get rid of the negative sign in front of x, but also switch the inequality sign. Because at first, x was greater than 17 because of that negative sign. But once you get rid of it, it now no longer has it. So now it's less than -17. So -17 in the center here, and we'll have 0 off to the right. That's where it goes. Open circle, and values of x are less. Less means to the left. Last of this type, we'll distribute. So we're left with 10 minus 5r greater than or equal to. Distribute here, we're left with 3r minus 6. So we can go ahead and move this r term over. So I'll subtract that 3r from both sides. Add the 10, oops, not add, but subtract the 10 because it is a positive 10, so I'll take away the 10 from both sides. And so now what we've got left is a -8r. I added because they're the same sign. Is greater than or equal to -16. From this point, we'll divide by that -8, and that leaves me with r by itself. But remember, you're dividing by a negative, so it's going to switch that inequality sign around. So we're left with r is less than or equal to 2. So 2 goes in the center, 0's off to the left, and the values of r are less than or equal to, so it has a solid circle this time. Values of r are off to the left. Taking a look at our next problem here, it says company 1 charges $32. So this is a constant amount. So we are definitely paying this plus $6 per hour. Again, when you see the word per, that tells us we're dealing with our variable here. And moving on to the next company, company 2 charges $84 plus, and this is our constant amount again, that $84. We're going to pay that no matter what, plus $2 per hour. So it depends on the number of hours that we use it. So that's why we call that our variable amount. So we want to find the number of hours. So that's what our variable is going to be, is we'll use H for the number of hours. So let's write it out. Company number 1 charges $32 plus $6 per hour. And company number 2, they charge $84 plus $2 per hour. So initially, company 1 is the cheaper company because they have a smaller constant charge. But eventually, company number 2 will be cheaper because they charge less per hour. So that's what they want to find. Find the number of hours when company 2 charges less. So when will company 2 charge less? We're going to point the inequality to 2. So when will company 1 charge more is another way they could ask the same question. So we'll go ahead and solve by moving some terms around. I'll subtract that 2h from both sides. And I'm also going to subtract the 32 from both sides. So here's what we have left. We've got a 4h is greater than, and this makes 52. So I can go ahead and divide by 4. And 4 does go in there evenly. Let's see how many times. H is greater than, 4 goes into 5 one time. With 1 left over, 4 goes into 12 3 times. So H is greater than 13 hours. So it can't be 13 hours. It has to be like the next number up, either 14, or if they go by fraction of an hour, then like 13.1 hours. Here's another problem similar to that. A company charges you $36, so this is your constant amount. So you're going to pay that plus $5 per cake. Okay, this is, when we see that word per or each, that tells us we're dealing with our variable. Now we'll know it's our variable if they ask for the number of cakes. Find the number of cakes. You see, there it is. It says you sell cakes for $9 each, so this is a constant amount. All right, so you basically buy cakes for $36 plus $5 per cake. C for cake. You sell for $9 per cake. So it says find the number of cakes when you must sell to make a profit. To make a profit, that means that it's got to be, your amount has to be greater than this amount. Not greater than or equal to. Equal to would like be breaking even. So you want to sell more. You want this selling to be more than what you're buying it for. So we got to go ahead and do some opposite operations here. We'll subtract that 5c would be the best way to do it. And when you do that, we're left with 36 is greater than 4c. So when we go ahead and solve this, divide by the 4, we're left with 9 is less than c. So another way to say it is c is greater than. See, it opens to the c. So c is greater than 9. So after 9 cakes, that is, then you've made a profit. At 9 cakes, that means you have not made a profit. You broke even. So 10 cakes makes a profit. Anything 10 or more is what you want for a profit. 9 cakes break even, 10 or more, you got yourself your profit. Those are the types of problems you'll see on tonight's homework. Good luck.